me.
Let's go ahead and give you guys some quick shots. The first one we have is Microsoft reviewing TLOU 2. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it leaked.
Yeah. So I think Cernite was gonna read us
Yeah.
from the official document, right?
Yeah, this is from like
The official,
This
but
was from
unofficial?
some lawsuit, right? That's like was between Apple and Epic or something along these lines. This stuff leaked. And surprise, these companies review games from other platforms internally.
You gotta know your
What is
competition.
the
Yeah.
purpose
Gotta
of
know
that,
your
though?
enemy, man.
So they
I think
review
it
it
makes
just
sense,
to-
but I don't think we really thought that they did.
Well, I mean, I thought that they play the competition and whatnot, but I didn't think they would write a review about
They
it.
wrote up a whole review. It's a whole write-up, dude, like a legitimate review write-up.
Yeah.
Just for the company.
So did it have some praise in it for the actual game, or was it just?
Yeah, so I wanted to read some of this for you. So it was this write-up was written by like two of their completed by both Mike and John. So that's all. So they go by first names.
Hey,
right? 'Cause
Mike.
this
Hey,
is-
John.
This is totally internal, but basically they were gushing over it for the most part.
Dang.
They had a couple things they didn't like. They knocked Last of Us for their gunplay. They said for some reason Naughty Dog still can't seem to make any good gunplay.
I could see that
And
I thought that their gunplay was
because
pretty good.
I didn't like the gunplay in
never had a
Uncharted.
problem
I
with it.
hated the gunplay, but that was just me. I thought it was a little.
yeah, but how is really any different than GTA's gunplay?
That one's not that good either.
But we all love those. We all love GTA.
I mean, it's still fun, don't
right?
get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
if
the
you're-
basis
if you're trying to
of the
compare it
game.
to like
Right,
Call of
right,
Duty
so
or
I'm not
something,
looking for that.
if you're comparing it to like a shooter, it always.
I
fails
think
in
that's why it was a
comparison.
little unfair when they said that because it's not Call of Duty.
Right.
It's not Halo. And I think that's like a little jab, an internal
Yeah.
jab, because we're so great at Halo, right? Like, look at our shooters are really top notch. Is what I'm thinking.
Probably.
4-3-4.
You
was
know.
They had to
getting
say
some help.
something bad about it.
Is
Yeah,
it 4-3-4
and
or
so-
3-4-3?
343.
343.
Yeah, they got help from some other game company to be able to finish their
Right.
game.
It's not really
Creation
Microsoft
something.
making it, right? But
Bungie came back. I was kidding.
But I think that we're relatively honest. Like, so for instance, like I'm just going to a couple parts here for you. It says the visual quality and attention to detail on The Last of Us Part 2 is absolutely best in class in basically every area. And the overall presentation is significantly ahead of anything that any other team has been able to produce on console or PC.
Dang.
We were frequently stunned by the quality of the game's visuals. Sometimes that sadly seldom something that sadly seldom happens these days. It's even more impressive considering that the game features two separate player characters. Players certainly have had every right to their subjective feelings and opinions on the game's narrative. On Naughty Dog's choice to make the players a diametrically opposed protagonist, or in the game's final contentious outcome. But as someone who cares deeply about the evolution and expansion of what storytelling and interactive entertainment can be, those things ultimately matter less than how incredibly well Naughty Dog has crafted and delivered the story they wanted to tell.
So they're definitely fawning over this thing, man.
The Last of Us Part 2 is the exceedingly rare video game where what it accomplishes in moving forward the art of narrative storytelling in video games as a medium ultimately outweighs whether or not everyone likes it, or even if everyone has fun playing it. But that said, we loved it, had a great time playing it, and find ourselves still thinking about its characters and stories even after finishing our playthrough.
Dang.
So they're really, really gushing over this game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like it says a lot more when you hear it from the competition.
Oh yeah.
We debate, gamers debate and argue. Fanboys, Sony ponies, Xbots, go at it. What's good, what isn't good. But when you hear from like them directly internally on how they felt, it's almost like, okay, you can't argue with that. Like that is just the proof is in the pudding on how incredible that game is, and
Now
why
you
we
have
were
to see if
fawning
they
over
can
it
take
so
anything
much.
from it and possibly improve their games. so
And
that
that's
they
a
can
great
take some of
point,
those
right?
aspects.
Like that's the good news that we hope that they learn, right, and try to make something on that level.
Yeah. Because it said something along the lines of them moving those narrative kind of games forward. So yeah, everyone's taking notes on this. Like, ooh, this is how we do it. Let's try to make our version. Like clearly it's a game like Genshin Impact. They played Breath of the Wild and some other great games and like, let's make it better. You know
You
what I mean?
start
Exactly.
defining
So-
that category and start making it what it is. But
Yeah, it's why I was telling you, even if you are struggling with Last of Us 1, like try to muscle through it to play the part 2 because it's so stinking jaw dropping and incredible.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe it. It's why I kept talking about earlier, even though it had some of its faults and we talked about some of the story and narrative things that we had a hard time with, I couldn't stop thinking about it and I couldn't stop being in awe of it just because of how the detail was so off the charts and how the gameplay was so incredible. I enjoyed the gunplay too. It worked for the world that it's meant to be in.
Yeah, I never had a problem with the gunplay. I'm like, okay, this works for me.
So I just get on it, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Get on it.
I haven't installed,
it.
so I reinstalled it from the little collection thing.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I love you, me.